الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome all of you to your program Fatwa Live. And the first question today is about the prayer time in Anchorage. That he is with them since Ramadan, and they are divided into parts. One depend on Mecca time, and the others they go to the local time. And I'm the Imam of this masjid. That go into this local time that they adopted before my coming. And this division is really making a big problem in our community, especially after the kids grow up. We're gonna have a major problem with this, so we're trying to settle this up if we can. Right now, since I'm just a visiting person, I'm looking for a Shari solution for this. I don't see that you have to follow the Mecca in this area, especially like in the summertime. It's you can't differentiate between day and night. So I need your help. So the answer, may Allah help us, inshallah. For Amja, we have a decision about the time of prayers and fasting in the countries that are abnormal. And it's abnormal day and night. And it goes as follows. Originally, that they have to be done on its times. Or if the day and night is different than normal, and there are difference in one day, in 24 hours, and that is very hard to bring the prayers in its time, then it is allowed to combine between the prayers for those who needs that, to do that, to stop the burden and the hardship. But the fasting, so the Muslim need to fast from the time of the prayers, the Fajr until night time, unless he cannot do this. In the countries that the day and night is more than 24 hours, then they are required to the nearest city that is normal, that they are having the same that they share, like the length and the width. And we also the Islamic fiqh international that belong to the Islamic world, that they divided the world that has high differences to three differences. The first one between 45 and 48, north and south, and you could tell of the different times in 24 hours, whether it's long or short. The second one between 48 and 66, and you don't have the normal difference between day and night, like the night stays even late, and the same thing between Fajr and Isha. There is no difference. And the third one all the way to the North Wall or South Wall, and this is don't have it's like these are in month, and the nights in month. They have to do it the first June, they do it in the normal time, and the fasting in the normal time, because there's a difference. And whomever can fast a day or two because of the length of the day, then he will break his fast and redo it on the days that are normal. Second thing, you do the Fajr and Isha depends on the night or the Fajr of any normal city that's closer by, that they share the length and the width. The first one, there is a difference in the day and night, and the other one is there's no. And we suggest to use the closest area, which is 45 degrees. So if it starts after, and there is an illustrated version of this on the website of AMJA. So why they said that the measurement has to be to the nearest country or city, because from geography, it is better to just get it to something close than to get it from a distance like Mecca. The third one, where there's no difference between day and night, and the days month and nights are month. So you try to measure it. It depends uh, on the area that is 45 degrees. So every 24 hours, you divide the time between Fajr and Dhuhr and Asr and Maghrib and so on and so forth. And this is from the measurement that is known in the Hadith of Al Dajjal. Then when the companions asked the Prophet ﷺ how many days he will stay in the earth, he said 40. He said one like a year, one like a month, one like a week, and the rest is like they said about the day of Ramadan. Is it enough one prayer? He said no. You just do the measurement as much as you can. And with that, said the European Fiqh Council, however, in Azhar, they like to use the Mecca time. In the fatwa, a member lives in countries like this, that is very long, that you cannot do fasting, then he do it from the time of Fajr that he lives in, and stays equal in hours, whomever live in Mecca, and then he will break his fast. So if the from Fajr until sunset in Mecca, 13 hours, then from that country they do their fasting from the Fajr of that time, and they go 13 hours only, and they break their fast, even if that day is still on. And the Jordanian, same thing, and they do the same thing for the prayers. And the measurement for Mecca, because it is the mother of cities, and it is the destination, so its timing, it's from the uh, standard that is taken everywhere. In summary, the majority, as you see, is to keep the timing on its places, like it is required, as long as there is difference between day and night. And then the necessities has different issues. And in Azhar, they have different. You do the measurement on Mecca only, and we take with the majority. And whomever different, we allow him after the advice. And Allah knows the best. The second question about the shoes that people use, like Crocs. Is it allowed to use it? First of all, what is the shoes that is allowed for the muhrim in Hajj? Whatever cover the ankles, you should not make it use it for ihram. Like the shoes that has long neck that cover the heels. The other one on the bottom of the shoe with the exposure of the top, you can make ihram in it, and it is recommended. And anything that's going to help to hold it is no problem, whether it is between the toes or in the back, and anything below the heels. The Hanafi madhab they allowed it. Sheikh Islam ibn Taymiyyah he agreed with that, but the majority are against. They should not wear anything that's going to cover the foot, whether it covers the whole toes or part of this, part of that. The only time you could do it is when there is no other choice. So if the shoes that you're talking about like this, then you should not use it for ihram. A mother that died over 2 years ago, and she had three boys and five girls, and she left some gold that she used to wear. So one of her kids, he said, "Let's save it until they find a charity, like to build a masjid. Then you sell it and spend it on that project." But we don't know when this project is going to happen, since it's happened. It's been 2 years. So another one suggested sell it, make it charity for the poor and needy, and to any goodness. So she will get the reward as soon as possible, without delays. Because the dead is in desperate need for his charity. We don't think that delaying it, mm, like the building of the masjid. So what do you think we need to do? What the shar in this? The answer, it is very wide options in here, and I love the inheritance who didn't want to inherit this and wanted to give it as a project that's going to benefit their mother. May Allah accept from them. And this is to show the good love of the mother and the fulfilling of their duties. So if you missed what being given duties to your parents, at least after their death. Don't wait until they die. Take advantage of their life. So the value of the gold might not make it to build the whole masjid. So you do it for a masjid that is already exists, and that's better for continued charity. Because whomever build a masjid for, even if it is as a bird nest, then Allah will build him a house in the Jannah. Or to help those in desperate need and the poor. And there is goodness in both. And the first one has a longer effect. Third question: do we have to eat non-Muslims from the people of the book? There was discussion in the masjid 2 days ago, and it says that you have to hate them. I thought we just hate their disbelief. and not to hate those who did not hurt us and deal with us in kindness. But we need to call them for Islam and love to guide them. The hate of what they have in disbelief and worshiping beside Allah, not to them by themselves, and the free from their actions. And that does not contradict the natural uh, feelings and nature for the Muslims for a reason, from marriage or kinship or partnership in work or neighborhood or companionship in work. Allah knew what's between the harmony between a husband and wife, because He is the one who created within yourselves couples that you settle with and made harmony and love and mercy. And it's not going to, Allah will not allow the marriage of the people of the book, and then He told us to hate them. That don't make sense. So, if Allah allowed us to marry them, of course He's not going to ask us to hate them at the same time. That's not. So that's the idea it does not exist. Because Allah told the Prophet ﷺ, or He said, His Prophet, you're not going to guide whomever you love, but Allah guides whomever He wishes. And that was about his uncle Abu Talib, who died on the religion of his forefathers. So the difference, the natural love and the Islamic one. You love the person of the people of you love a person because of his religion. You hate what disbelievers do for the disbelief that they do, not for them as a person. And the person might hate naturally some of the worship, but it does not mean that he's not a believer. Just like Allah said about the Prophet, just like He took you out of your house in truth, and some of the believers, they hate it and they debate you as if they are dragged to death and they are looking at it. So there's a difference between the natural hate and the one from the Islamic. You hate him in Islam for the disbelief in Allah, for the actions, the crimes, but not for the person. Like the person who is married to the people of the book, he loves her for who she is, but he hates what worship she does, the belief. The and the new Muslims, they have relatives who are not Muslims, and they love them in a natural way as relatives, but they hate what they have of disbelief in Allah and worship somebody beside Him. A person wants to divorce his wife because she didn't listen to him, and she left the house and she did things without his knowledge, and it stayed like 6 months. Is there an issue for the basis for divorce? There's no mufti, my son, who encourage you to divorce. All the muftis, they do every person to correct the things between people. Because to ask people to repent, to come back to their conscience, is better to Allah Azza wa Jal than for them to destroy them and to have the separation. Just the dispute between the husband and wife, that separation and body, that's not a divorce. The divorce is the marriage is dissolved, either from the husband or from the judge or if it is voided because it has something from the beginning, it's voided, like somebody found out that his wife is his sister and breastfeeding, and he found out later. So if the woman could not have patience on her husband, she could ask for arbitration, because this way, because Allah said, may Allah bring correction to their relationship between them. So he asked arbitrator from his family and from her family. If they have the good intention, Allah will make it easy for them. And the arbitration or the judge or the court is the one that settle the dispute, and how it's going to managed. Are we doing divorce because of harm and she's truthful, or are we through khul'a because a woman cannot stay her life and there's no problem with the husband? You go all of this to the arbitration or to the judge, and Allah who permitted the marriage, he get a way out and how to dissolve it if there's a need for it. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to correct between you two and to bring harmony on all of you. Listening to music and looking into series and TV. Most of what we know that nowadays are from the instrument of the shaitan that the Muslim should stay away from. It's not except for the Islamic songs that have good morals. And all this that talk about love and all this stuff, that has nothing to do with the religion. And it's not from straightness. Seeing the movies or that, there is a dispute. There's good and bad that are mixed in here. And you have to look into the benefits and the harm. The best what is said, whatever is good is better than harm, is to, it is okay with try to avoid the looking as much as you can. And the righteous people, they take care of their times. They invested with something that is more beneficial for them. Because the day of judgment, no one will move until he was asked about four. One of them, his age, what did he waste it on? Two bounties that a lot of people are unaware of: the health and the free time. How can I make up for the prayers of so many years before? May Allah accept from your repentance and to forgive you. There's two school of thoughts in here. The first one, the prayer that are done intentionally will not be done, redone. It's on the person who overslept or forgot, then he could redo it. And the other one require the makeup for it, whomever did it, as because if the person who forgot, he need to compensate, then those who did it, and this is more guarding, and whoever take it, he could make as much as he can. He can make with each obligation another one or two, and so on and so forth, and do a lot of extra nafila. Allah. And ask my brother, Allah Azza wa Jal, to accept, inshallah. May Allah correct the youth. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. The last question is the to continue talking to our cousins from both the mother and father. Can we call them? And yes, it is allowed, permissible. What is not allowed to be isolated with them or to touch each other. But the question, with respect and not lower the gaze, inshallah, there's nothing with that, inshallah. We come to the conclusion. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Inshallah, we'll continue in a couple of hours.